In a new court hearing, Britney Spears' father loses bid to retain complete control of his daughter's financial investments. The man hid his wife in front of a young Britney, has gone bankrupt, putting more pressure on a young Britney to provide for her mother and siblings, has a daughter who from the very beginning has says she absolutely does not want her alcoholic, abusive father in charge of her life, and has abused her children. This man is a failed husband, a failed businessman, a failed father, even a failed grandfather. He should have never been allowed involved in her adult problems, but he wormed his way in anyways. He should have been removed the second he hurt her children, but instead Britney was forced to pay for his legal fees and he remained in charge of every aspect of her life. It's beyond disgusting. Can we just note that with this case she actually had to pay for her own father's legal defense because he is in charge of her money? That is so completely F up. Edit. If anyone wants a rundown of her legal issues, this podcast does a good job covering it. Seriously. Using his daughter's money to fight her in court. I can't imagine how infuriating and helpless Britney must feel being in this unfair situation. I wonder how much of her money has disappeared into his own bank accounts or assets signed over to him. Well, in the documentary they mentioned that she earned $58 million during 2011 but that her current estate is worth $60 million. So, a woman who is arguably one of the biggest pop stars in the world is somehow worth only $60 million. I really hope that they figure out that this money has been taken out of her accounts because years ago her net worth was estimated to be around $250 million. That's the part that is messed up. It's as if no investments were being made at all. I bet the dad invested in coke. The fact that he stopped speaking to her when she filed to remove him as conservator tells me everything. If he was truly concerned for her, he would still be there for her to make sure she's okay. It's all about money for that slime bag, and I'm glad he's finally being exposed. #Free Britney. Damn guys. So many updates. I'm glad everyone shares my wrath about this. I read that he compared managing her estate to owning a racehorse. Disgusting way to think of your own daughter. I think they said it's now a business model, and asked for a raise. Like hello? Does a judge not see that as a red flag? Considering their whole point of managing her money is so that people don't take advantage of her and take her money, aka what they're doing. That's the thing, as long as he can control her life, she can't be proven to be well, therefore she can't be proven to be able to be in charge of her own life either. It's quite the legal problem, being treated as a child when you are an adult. I think this warrants some serious reforms, no? I mean, there is no reward for actually doing better. This could completely cause some people to spiral. I would feel so angry and helpless. Yeah, I'd say this situation has definitely showed that reform is needed. I used to work for Traegerwood pellet grills and Britney's dad called to request a free grill that he would take on tour in his tour bus, essentially trying to use his daughter's status for free shit. He sounded like a whiny, entitled A. Glad I wasn't wrong in assuming so. Edit. He did not get a free grill. Okay, but can I have a free grill? I also have legal control over my daughter's assets but only because she's 6. So crazy how her dad is pulling this shit with Britney. I've been hearing about this for years. I'm just surprised the judges have let this go on for as long as it has. It's ridiculous and I can't imagine the embarrassment she probably feels for being treated like a child at her age. Judges are idiots way more often than people would like to admit. Also, they seem to have the thinnest skin of anyone I have seen. I have been in court a few times, not for myself, but it doesn't matter. Talking out of turn or showing the slightest bit of disrespect, intentional or not, will get you F up quicker and harder than if you told a cop to SAD. Her judge is probably in on it too. Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Just seen someone write an article on Facebook and it says that her psych doctor mysteriously fell 8 stories from a building and died. It also said that she tried to go Rouge and record her own album. Dipped out to a radio station to expose everyone. I don't know, to me it seems like they're trying to keep her silenced and this is how to do it without suiciding her. That's assuming everything I said above is true. Bottom line, anyone with half a brain should already be able to determine that all of this is wrong. Like some of you said, she takes care of her kids, goes on tours and does all this other shit. Seems able-bodied to me. I'm normal as they come and I don't think I could juggle that kind of responsibility all at once. I wish her situation would get more press. This is one celebrity I genuinely feel like has been done a disservice. Poor Britney. You can tell the stress has aged her so much. Hope she gets her life back sooner rather than later. Judges aren't idiots. They are biased crooks. It's been almost 13 years. You would think this would have ended like a decade ago. She has money. Her dad wants money. He's probably willing to share some of that money with any officials that can make sure he retains full access to it. Not hard to figure out how it went on for so long. I bet if he just behaved as a normal person, a kind and loving father, she wouldn't mind supporting him if he needed money. Britney is afraid of her father and is uncomfortable with him maintaining the conservatorship. That alone warrants a thorough welfare investigation at the absolute bare minimum. The craziest part to me is that it was decided she's mentally well enough to do more than one Las Vegas residency, make albums, go on tours, continue to be in the public eye, very likely one of the things that led to her downfall in the first place, and yet still say she's not well enough to make decisions for herself. How can you have both of those things be true? Money can make anything true. Not if you pay off the right people using her money, and I would bet a lot of people are getting bribed and have been for years. I hope she gets her revenge on all of them. It's Britney, bitch. Edit, all these awards, thank you. Edit 2, I was in my late teens when Britney shaved her head in that barber's years ago. Paparazzi outside snapping every photo they could get, knowing this woman's breakdown was the biggest payday they were gonna get from her career. I didn't understand at the time as a young woman in the world, how could someone so talented, rich, beautiful, famous, admired and desired be so unhappy in their life that they would do such a thing to themselves at all? Never mind publicly. Then I spent 15 years becoming the woman I am today, and I have a much better understanding of what was going through her mind, and I commend her for refusing to be people's dancing monkey. The media tried to shame her outbursts as an entitled little brat who had everything. The very same media who used to ask her questions about her virginity at 16, 17 years old in order to publish in magazines. PR teams that purposely made her photo shoots as a teenager as sexual as they could. They never represented her as a full whole person, an intelligent woman, a caring mother, a hard worker. They were just trying to make as much money as they could, making her a sex symbol on a global scale. It's almost the same way Marilyn Monroe was treated. It effing disgusts me to see how she's been treated by these bastards and her family. I haven't even watched the documentary yet, and I hope I can find a way to watch it, seeing as I'm in the UK. Yep, lots of accusations of Jamie pulling connections and dollar to get cozy with the courts. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, the New York Times' new #Free Britney documentary is up now on Hulu. It does an excellent, thorough job explaining this whole messed up situation. The creators even did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit the other day. Today's news is a small but positive step for Britney's freedom, as a 39-year-old woman fighting for access to the millions of dollars she's earned since working as a child. Her gold-digging dad Jamie is still a conservator, but now he will share that power with an impartial bank that Britney and her lawyer requested. She is still fighting to have her father removed as conservator at all, and is currently on a work hiatus, refusing to work until her dad is not in charge of her life anymore. If anyone wants more information or discussion, feel free to join r/Free Britney and r/Britney Spears. Now I understand what the Leave Britney Alone guy was trying to tell us. Truly ahead of his time. I just started watching this today. I am 50, so I have watched Britney Spears evolve from the beginning. I remember how difficult things were for her in the late 2000s, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for her, as a woman, as a mother, and as a performer. Whether one likes her music or not, you must admit that this woman has done everything in her power to move forward despite all the negativity and bust her ass to come out on top. I respect her so much. Where is her sister in all of this? Wasn't she a child star on Nickelodeon or something? Is she advocating for her sister or on dad's side? She was a child star on Nickelodeon, thanks to Britney's influence and connections. Unfortunately, the sister's business manager is one of the people who orchestrated the conservatorship over Britney. So it seems the sister doesn't want to burn bridges with the person getting her jobs and would rather keep quiet than help her sister. Money really is the root of all evil. If anyone wants to do a deep dive about how far the corruption goes with the sister and the manager, here's a very long but detailed thread including an email Britney wrote in her own words before losing autonomy over her life. Reminder for everyone that Kanye West lives with bipolar disorder, that he absolutely refuses to medicate and his civil rights have never been compromised. He's allowed to randomly spout off on social media about whatever he wants, do whatever he wants with his career, including experimenting with running weird cults, and decide to run for president on a whim, but Britney has not had any control over any aspect of her life since this happened to her. More broadly, conservatorship guardianship in the States is constructed in such a way that it is ripe for abuse. For another rundown of all the issues associated with this legal construct, see the Netflix Dirty Money episode on guardianship and elder abuse. Britney wasn't allowed to vote. They let Kanye run for effing president. I really wish the documentary went over Lou Taylor's involvement. That woman orchestrated the takeover of Britney's life and deserves punishment. There are some good videos more in depth on YouTube. Same here, she also tried to pull that shit on Lindsay Lohan, but Lindsay's dad stepped on. The audacity of Lou Taylor, worming and conning her way on these people's lives. Wasn't Lou Taylor also stalking Britney? The more I hear about Lou Taylor, the more I believe that she's a deranged predator. Her dumb redneck father looks like he smells like beer at all times of the day. Watching the doc, I thought they gave her mother a free pass. Her parents passed her on others pretty early on. They both knew she was being exploited. Then turned around and tried to get the sister involved in the same business. Also, that paparazzi situation was way out of control. I almost had to stop watching because the videos of their flash bulbs were about to make me sick. They were less than a foot away from her in most of those vids. I wonder what the laws are if a celebrity actually had a seizure during one of those mobs. That moment when she was in an ambulance during her mental health crisis and the photographers were pressed up against the ambulance windows, trying to get a photo, and the ambulance couldn't even move. It made me sick. Plus the videos of her literally saying I'm scared, I'm scared. And the paparazzi literally had the nerve to say that she never showed any signs that she was uncomfortable. What? While she's holding her baby. I don't blame her one bit for speeding off with her baby on her lap. Imagine how trapped and scared she felt for herself and her son. She said he was crying and upset and she just needed to get out of there. Girl, I can see myself doing the same in that situation. I don't see how Yone in her situation, being tortured the way she was, could go through that without having a complete mental breakdown. Kills me. As a parent, this shit pisses me off. One of our teenagers is starting to see early signs of success on 20k plus subs, and is starting to make good money every month. We set up an account for him and monitor spending, but he has control over his money because he made it. We have been teaching him what impulsive spending and healthy management is, and he's doing okay. Even if he were to blow through all his money every month, it's his to lose. These are his lessons to learn. I hate when people think that their kids are their possessions. So sad. I'm just here to say I broke up with a guy because he made fun of Britney's situation. It's not a effing joke. I'm so happy she's getting her justice. Thanks for watching till the end.